In terms of the overall culture, a lot of positive things. Over here, like in the close circles, what I saw was that a lot of people had only girls as the children. എനിക്ക് രണ്ട് പെൺകുട്ടിയുണ്ട്, എനിക്ക് മൂന്ന് പെൺകുട്ടിയുണ്ട്. There are families where a single girl child is there. That kind of thing, honestly, in Haryana, that is a rarity. Invariably, the last child would be a male. So, that thing is there. Haryana is in fact notorious for that, although nowadays things have improved a lot, but still. So that kind of thing I really loved about Kerala. Then the way people stick to the roots over here and the way they have maintained their tradition and culture, I love that. Okay, when people drape the mund, the way when they go to the temple, they will be putting that poof, that thing, and a lot of things, the way things are celebrated over here. So we do that with our traditional chandamelam and all, and there are so many rituals which are steeped into the daily life, which I feel ki in Haryana obviously we have a different culture, and those traditions are also being maintained, but Kerala has been able to maintain it for a long time. We have a rich culture and history over here, which is not so apparent in North, because North has always faced the tyranny of invasion and all. Therefore, the kind of, for example, the ancient temples and the ancient buildings, etc., we would find over here. Over there, finding such a building is like not possible. Different reasons and all for that, but widely varied cultures in terms of everything, people's outlook, literacy levels. Everybody knows that over there in rural areas, the condition of schools, that was one thing which I absolutely loved. ഇനീഷ്യലി അസിസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് കളക്ടറുള്ള ചാർജ് എടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം ഞാൻ ഒരു സ്കൂളിലേക്ക് പോയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അവിടെ ഒരു പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക്, അവിടെ കമ്പയറിങ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കുട്ടി 11th സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡിലുള്ള ഒരു പെൺകുട്ടി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഷീ വാസ് സ്പീക്കിംഗ് സച്ച് ഫ്ലോലെസ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് വെൻ ഷീ വാസ് ഡൂയിങ് ദ പ്രോഗ്രാം പോസ്റ്റിംഗ്. ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ വന്നു, ഇത് ഹരിയാന ആയിരുന്നു എങ്കിൽ, ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഒരു ഗവൺമെൻറ് സ്കൂളിൽ യു കനോട്ട് ഇമാജിൻ, മിക്കവാറും കുട്ടികൾ പ്രസൻറ്റേ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, യാ ടീച്ചർ എബ്സെൻസ് കൂടുതലായിരിക്കൂ, പ്രസൻറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഡ്രോപ്പ് റേറ്റ് ഹൈ ആയിരിക്കൂ. ആൻഡ് we need getting such smart kids, speaking such flawless English, coming from a government school, that really opened my eyes. And I felt that when we say literacy level is so high, the health and education standards are so much better. So yeah, you can definitely feel that.
And let's say, just out of curiosity, and how do you compare the political culture in these two states? You are coming from Haryana, which is well known for many things, and same is with Kerala. So you must have seen politicians in close quarters.
Right. So that is the part where I would want to say, നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ki ഇവിടെ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൂടുതൽ സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് ആണ്, കൂടുതൽ വെൽ ഗവേൺഡ് ആണ്. ഞാൻ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ അവിടെ നമ്മുടെ ബാച്ച്മേറ്റ്സ് അടുത്ത് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോഴും അല്ലാതെയും ന്യൂസൊക്കെ വായിക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ താങ്കൾ കൂടി കണ്ടിട്ടായിരിക്കും, ദർ ആർ ഇൻസ്റ്റാൻസസ് വേർ യു ഹാവ് മിനിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് or the public representatives yelling at the officers. There have been sometimes even unfortunate incidents where somebody takes out the slipper and the slipper is being thrown and all. Okay, over here the situation is very different. The position is viewed with respect, whether you are a sub-collector, assistant collector, or you are a director in some department. My overall experience till now with politicians has been very cordial. That sense of respect, mutual respect. You respect the politicians, they are obviously public representatives, must be respected. And similarly, the kind of respect that you get, that is very much present over here. ഇതുവരെ എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനത്തെ ഇൻസിഡൻറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായില്ല where one person like stands up and starts yelling at you or starts insulting you. Touch wood, ഇതുവരെ ഉണ്ടായില്ല. And same is the experience of most of the officers posted over here. And I cannot even imagine the kind of things like hurling a shoe at an officer or vice versa. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഇൻസിഡൻറ്റ് നമ്മളിവിടെ കണ്ടല്ല. ആ മ്യൂച്വൽ റെസ്പെക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, ആ കോർഡിയാലിറ്റി ഓഫ് റിലേഷൻഷിപ്പ്, ആ ഡിഗ്നിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. So that is something that I feel very positive about. One more thing, like not just Haryana, but alladeyum pala cadres nammal kelkarundu. If you do not do the things as prescribed by the public representatives, then petanayitte ningalku transfer varu. Okay, so this thing over here, so we in close circles we discuss over here. I haven't had instances where the ministers or the CM or MLAs calling and saying ki this thing needs to be done and it needs to be done in this way only. Anganate enike anubhavam illa. And the same emotion is shared by a lot of officers. Call varu karangalina vendi call varu, and it would always be respectful ki madam onne the nokane collector in ee karyam onna speed up cheyanam, ee കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കണം. ഈവൻ ഇഫ് ഇറ്റ് വെൻ വി സേ കി MLA ഇത് റൂൾ പ്രകാരമല്ല, ഇത് റൂൾ പ്രകാരം നമുക്ക് ഈ ബെനിഫിഷ്യറീനെ പാവപ്പെട്ട ആൾക്കാരിനെ ഇത് കൊടുക്കാനാവില്ല, then still it would be as a request only ki onne nokuga whichever way, if we can try to help this person. But our kind of giving directions to do the wrong thing and that to threats to do the wrong things, anganate anubhavam namakku ivide undayilla. The initial 1 year when I got Kerala cadre allotted, when I landed in the cadre, so initial couple of months though were very tricky, and I used to feel very sad ki bhayankara culture vyathyasam undu, language vyathyasam full undu. As after joining as an assistant collector, initial ulla itrayo meetings okay completely blank aayittu nammal irikkunnundaayirunnu onnu because of language factor onnu manasilavanilla endana MLA മാർ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്, എന്താണ് നമ്മുടെ ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് കളക്ടർ റിപ്ലൈ ആയിട്ട് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. പിന്നീട് ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും വിചാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, my batchmates who are in the native cadres where they understand the language, അവരുടെ productivity versus my productivity ഭയങ്കര വ്യത്യാസമായിരിക്കും. They would be probably operating at 100% of their efficiency and we would be sitting here at like say 10 or 20%. കാരണം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവാൻ പോലെയില്ല എന്താണ് നടക്കുന്നു. So initial couple of months were I felt very sad, and then I made it a point ki okay, this is it, this is the place you are going to serve, this is your karma bhumi. Ada mansilakit, and other like after completely accepting that decision ki okay, this is it, then I stopped cribbing about it. Then I was not feeling negative about it, and I made it a point ki enike ee bhasha adyam proper right padikkanam. So I started watching a lot of Malayalam movies. So in turn I became such a huge fan of Malayalam movies that nowadays I hardly watch any other movie. Malayalam cinema is so good. So gradually then started understanding the language. എൻ്റെ ഡ്രൈവർ അടുത്ത്, എൻ്റെ ഗൺമാൻ അടുത്ത്, ആൻഡ് എൻ്റെ സ്റ്റാഫ് അടുത്ത് ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ സംസാരിക്കൂ. സംടൈംസ് ദേ വുഡ് കീപ്പ് ഓൺ മേക്കിംഗ് ഫേസസ്, സംടൈംസ് ദേ വുഡ് ലാഫ് കീ വാട്ട് ഷീ ഈസ് സേയിങ്. അവർക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒന്നും മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. ബട്ട് ഐ ടോൾഡ് ദം ദിസ് ഈസ് യുവർ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി, യു ഹാവ് ടു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഐ എം സേയിങ്, ബട്ട് ഐ വിൽ ട്രൈ ഇൻ മലയാളം, whatever I am doing. Things worked out. By the time I became a sub-collector, I had got good command over the language, in the sense that ആൾക്കാർ പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. എനിക്ക് എന്ത് പറയണം അത് തിരിച്ച് ആൾക്കാരനെ ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. I could manage well. Language was one of the most important factors. Till the time you master the language, you keep on feeling like an alien, like an outsider. So no, I don't feel bad now. Rather, I feel that it has been, I have been very lucky in a lot of ways. And the many positives about Kerala cadre, they are there to support you always. Ippo in fact ekadesham samay vannittundu when I would be going back for central deputation. So ividite ella positive karyangal kind of try to pull you back. Would you want to go over there? How many years would you want to spend outside? Ivide orbaad nalla karyangal undu. So yeah, I do not regret that.
No. ഒരു ഭയങ്കര ഡ്രാസ്റ്റിക് ചേഞ്ച് ആണ് ബിഫോർ ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ യു ഫേസ് had.
Yeah.
So what are the changes we see? Because you mentioned that you chose to come from the private sector because of family, our priority would consider it. But currently you are in a position which again the priority is again in question.
Yeah.
So what are the differences that you experience on personal level and
Yeah. Personally and professionally, I'll begin with that. നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ പ്രൈവറ്റ് സെക്ടറിൽ ജോലി ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആഫ്റ്റർ കമ്മിങ് ടു ദ ഗവൺമെൻറ് സെക്ടർ എനിക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്ത ഒരു വലിയ കാര്യം ഇൻ ടേംസ് ഓഫ് വർക്ക് ഈസ് എഫിഷ്യൻസി. Private sector is very, very efficient. Government sector is much less efficient when it comes to the speed at which you do the work, when it comes to the speed of decision making, implementation, and also the overall efficiency of your work. Pakshe, after working in the government sector, you understand that it is a necessary evil. Private sector കൊണ്ട് നമുക്കിത് ഡയറക്റ്റ്ലി കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. രണ്ട് വേൾഡാണ്. In the private sector, you are catering to a limited set of people, and a very limited set of people have the decision making authority. അതാണ് രണ്ടാൾക്കാർ CEO, അതിനെ പിന്നീട് കീഴിൽ വരാനുള്ള വേറെ വേറെ വകുപ്പുകളിൻ്റെ ഹെഡ്സ്, അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. When it comes to the government sector, the entire public, the entire set of citizens, they are the stakeholders whom you are dealing with. The decision making is not as streamlined ki I decide to take a decision and I can just proceed with that. No, there are rules, regulations, guidelines, acts, everything that binds you. There's a hierarchy through which the respective decision has to go through before finally implementing it. So the circumstances itself are different. So because of that, and because of whatever n number of reasons, the efficiency with which you work in private sector versus government sector, huge differences there. In terms of the personal life, the kind of respect that people give you, that gets enhanced a number of times. The same set of people who wouldn't probably even want to listen to you or would not give you any shred of respect, now they listen to you with full attention. They respect your views. Private life will bhankara change vannu. Now coming to the irony that initially എനിക്ക് family അടുത്ത് spend ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സമയം കിട്ടുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു. That became the initial push, and ultimately then landing up in say IAS, where you have to be available like 24/7. So I would say that I have always tried to strike a balance between personal life and professional life, and thankfully till prior to becoming a collector, collectorship period is very, very different from that of a routine IAS posting. Other than collectorship, I have been able to maintain that balance, and all that guilt feeling and all which used to happen during the course of preparation and all that got very nicely made up for, because I was able to give my son a very good environment, a very good exposure, and therefore all those hours, months and years which were lost when I was preparing and I was not able to devote time to him. So I feel that I have more than made up for that, and now I get to spend all the time whatever is available at my level. So all those feelings are now gone. But as a collector, life is different. So as a collector, that balance, work-life balance, no, it is not what I would like it to be. But then so be it. This is a role, this is a position that requires that much kind of professional, your presence. You have to be present. You have to take care of, say, disasters. You have to take care of n number of things, whatever is happening in the district. So I don't have any complaints against that.
You mentioned about the language barrier when you came to Kerala from Haryana. Can you tell me about the cultural difference? Was it a cultural shock when you came to Kerala? Because you have come from an entirely different place. Coming to another planet like.
Yes. It feels very different. So lots of differences. To begin with, say, dietary things. We are a completely vegetarian family, and here, as we know, that mostly it is non-vegetarian, seafood and all. So initially, even the smell of fish getting cooked in a nearby house I remember my mother would cover her nose and she would run around, kahan jaun, har jagah itna smell hai. So she could not even tolerate that. Same was the kind of thing with us. But very soon then you know, gel well into the circumstances. In terms of dietary preferences, completely opposite. Language, very little commonality between Hindi and Malayalam.
conflict ഉണ്ടാകാറുണ്ടോ?
Conflicts ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്. There will be, most of the times what I have felt is it would be about prioritizing the works. As a collector, എനിക്ക് 14 MLA മാരുടെ വർക്ക്സ് ആയിരിക്കും. ആ 14 MLA മാർ മാത്രമല്ല, അല്ലാതെയും മിനിസ്റ്റർമാരുടെ, ഡയറക്ട്ലി CMന്റെ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ ഒരുപാട് വർക്ക്സ് ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും. So every representative would obviously want their works to be given priority, more speedy execution. പക്ഷേ നമുക്ക് ആൾക്കാർ ലിമിറ്റഡ് ആണ്. The same set of officials would be the ones who will be implementing the works. So അവിടെ കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് തീർച്ചയായും ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ക്യാപിറ്റൽ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് പ്രോട്ടോകോൾ ഡ്യൂട്ടീസ്, പ്രോട്ടോകോൾ വർക്ക്സ് ഇവിടെ കൂടുതലുണ്ട്. Visit of the dignitaries, Honorable Prime Minister, President, Vice President. During my tenure itself, all these dignitaries have come at least twice. So there's a lot of work related to the preparation of these dignitaries' visits. Then ഇത് നമ്മുടെ തിരുവനന്തപുരം ക്യാപിറ്റൽ ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് പരമാവധി പ്രോജക്ട്സിൻ്റെ ലോഞ്ച് ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും. സോ അതിൽ directly collector in a role ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും in terms of organizing the program and doing the preparations and all. So ഇവിടെ ജോലി ഭാരം തീർച്ചയായും കൂടുതലാണ്.
Even MP lands go through the collector, അല്ലേ?
Yeah, തീർച്ചയായും MP lands goes through collector. സോ നമ്മുടെ ലോക്സഭ MPs അവരുടെ വർക്ക് ആയിരിക്കും. കൂടാതെ രാജ്യസഭ MPs can also choose which district they want to designate as the nodal district for the implementation of works.
Can you explain that part? Because recently after the Lok Sabha elections we were looking at the performance of MPs, MP lands and the spending of MP lands, and most of them were saying that we have given clearance, now it's for the collector to
so that is again procedural part. So what happens is first MP will propose the work. Adinde ella ada nokit feasibility nokit, then the collector has to issue the administrative sanction for that, AS for that. After issuance of the AS, then the work would be executed on the field. Once all the bills are produced, after the work gets finished, the civil work or electrical, whatever work it is, then the bills have to be produced, and then after the bills have been produced, after checking and everything, then it has to be marked as closed in the portal. So what happens is most of our works either they have been fully finished or they are being implemented, but till the time we get the final UC and the final bills are received, they cannot be marked as done. Therefore, obviously from honorable MP side they would be saying നമ്മൾ ഫണ്ട് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, AS ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, now it is for the officers to implement. So yes, that procedural delay is there.